Friday evening, alongside Adam, once again on the Hard to Name podcast, number 7. 7 was a pretty good movie. Remember 7, Adam? Adam, welcome, by the way. The movie 7 was pretty cool.
The movie 7 was not very good. It was okay.
I liked it.
I would say
I'm
it's
not
okay.
I call heresy. 7 was an amazing movie. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Red with Bruce Willis.
That's not the same.
Completely different.
I get those two confused all the time.
I don't know
as
where
well.
I'm at. My bad.
Well, I know where we're at. The cat's out of the bag. The cat is out of the bag. Joining us once again, second time on the show, the Loot Troop is in the house, guys. Thank you so much for your time and patience. Welcome back. It's good to hear from you guys. Alongside Adam this time, how is everything in the world of Loot Troop?
Lovely. It's great. It's grand. A little slow going, in all honesty, but we're making moves, trying to catch up to our workload and everything. But otherwise, good.
I saw you guys are doing Uncharted, doing playthrough of Uncharted.
Yeah, well, yes.
That's awesome. That game's fantastic.
Yes. We're a little behind on recording. Work's getting in the way. That 9 to 5 nonsense, but we'll figure it out.
The best thing
Stupid
to do
dumb.
is, usually in situations like that, is to lie to your boss and tell him that you're working, and then just don't go to work.
Yeah, I need
Just
to
be
do
like,
that.
no, I was there. I didn't see you. I don't know where you were. I was at my desk doing work. You were probably golfing or something. It works. You just got to convince yourself, and you'll convince everyone else.
It's true.
Yeah,
So,
such is life. But guys, yes, thank you guys again for being here. Almost at 200 subscribers, just like we are on Hibiki TMD. So, man, if we hit that at the same time, we got to do like a collab celebration, joyous video or some shit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we should totally do that.
I'm down, totally. But what's going on this week in games, guys? A big game finally saw the light of day this week with No Man's Sky. A lot of hype. I mean, probably the epitome of the word hype was put into this game upon release. Guys, I know Ben, Dex, you guys have played the game. Adam and I have not. I mean, what were your guys' initial thoughts? And now, after spending some time with it, what is the final verdict, as far as your opinion, on No Man's Sky?
Disenchanted.
Ooh.
Allow me to elaborate.
All right.
Super excited for No Man's Sky, if you're pronouncing it incorrectly. No Man's Sky. So, No Man's Sky, we popped the disc in. All right, cool. Update. Nice little 45-minute update that we have to sit through. All right, I can deal with it. Most games do that. Sat down with the game finally and was super into it. Loved it for the first 2 hours. The first 2 hours of the games were freaking magical. And then I realized that's it.
No, you were still entranced for like 2 days.
Okay, it was like 2 days, 2 hours. What? Semantics, whatever. But it ended up just being a very poor tech demo of something that could have been. Really.
Because when I was trying, because it looked really cool, but I hadn't played it myself. I was just watching him play it, and then the next day I popped it in and I was playing it, and I found myself like not wanting to go and get the There's only like 3 or 4 things you really need to mine to get upgrades or anything like that. So it's like the rest of.
Right.
I thought there would be a lot to look at on each planet, and I found myself continuously saying it's very barren. There's not a lot here, and Ben was still kind of in magic mode, so he was like, "No, there's so much to do. You're just not looking."
Well.
And then the next day, he was like, "Oh, you're right. Like, it really is a barren."
Within the confines of what they give you to do within those first 2 hours, it's like, oh wow, this is everything I ever need. But then once you realize
That's
there's
all you
nothing, yeah, there's nothing more after that. Then it's like, oh, okay, magic is broken. They gave us a $60, probably $15 game.
quintillion planets. Quintillion.
A
Yeah.
trillion randomly generated hodgepodge boring planets.
Dick monsters.
Yeah, it all ended up being, it's like Spore Creature Creator Pro. That's it.
Penis-shaped Pikachus I've seen.
Oh my gosh, and it sucks because like the trailer was so misleading.
Yes, it was misleading. I
This
think we
is
should sue.
Sony's fault more than as much as you could try to say like Hello Games fucked this up somehow. Sony was the conductor on the hype train for this. This is nobody's fault but Sony for making everyone's expectations completely unrealistic.
I'm
And I
sure if
think
they would have,
Amen.
if
we
they would have
live
waited,
in an
I'd-
age where no one manages their expectations for shit like this. So if you just keep throwing fuel on the hype fire and waiting and like hoping that you're gonna do pre-orders out the roof,
pre-order.
yeah, you're fucking things up that way.
Pre-orders are killing the market. Just saying. I don't want to throw any red flags out there, but pre-orders, garbage.
There's
What
no
were we talking
reason.
about just last week on the show? What was that game that on pre-order that didn't even have the fucking game in it? It was like $130, but you don't get the game in that.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Oh, what game
Yeah.
was that? We just talked about that too.
Yeah.
I think
shit.
it was Battlefield 1, wasn't it? It was something with a big fucking statue.
It wasn't Battlefield. It was yeah.
I think it
But-
was Battlefield 1. Or it might have been, yeah. Either Battlefield 1 or Final Fantasy 15. It was something that comes out in the next 2 or 3 months. And the
I hope it's not
$130
15.
No, I don't
bonus
think it's 15.
edition doesn't
I
have
think
the
it
game.
was. You know what? I stand corrected. It was Battlefield.
It was Battlefield 1, I thought so. Yeah, so it comes with like a big statue and like a
Yeah.
paper with
So
writing
it's-
on it or something.
It's
Come
a
to
remake.
that, basically.
It's a remaster of an old game we've already played, and they don't even give you the game with the collector's edition.
Nope.
No,
You're not going to get it.
Battlefield 1 is
Ah.
a totally brand new game. It's a World War 1 game. It's
Oh,
Yeah, it's new, but regardless,
Yeah.
if I'm pre-ordering something, especially for that price, I don't give
We're
a fuck
also
if
in the
there's a
age of,
statue,
like-
there's a bronze eagle that flies out. You better put the game in there. No,
we're in the age
Oh
of
my
naming
gosh.
things, the most ridiculous things, like
We're in the
the
milking
Xbox
market.
One or the
Yes.
Wii U, or the new 3DS. Like nobody
Yeah.
gives a fuck anymore. They're like, you know what? I don't know what to name it. We are so far out of fucking ideas.
I'm
Let's
gonna
just
name this bologna sandwiches.
Bologna Sandwich 1.
It's a racing game, like, and there's not
next
even.
year, Bologna Sandwiches Slim will be out. So
Slim
Oh, shit.
edition. But don't buy that.
Which
Just
is-
wait for Bologna Sandwich Scorpio. Or don't.
yeah,
Or don't. We really don't care. We don't give two fucks about anything. We're rich.
but like back to the No Man's Sky thing though, I'm really disappointed because I wanted this to be a fucking masterpiece. Adam wasn't on the hype train, I was, but Adam wanted that too. I'm pretty sure that if it was good, Adam said he was going to get it, if I remember correctly. But
Yeah,
that's
it
a
was
shame. And I
However,
could see it coming. Like, man, this is just going to be randomly generated worlds. There can't be that much to do. Like, I kind of saw it, but I didn't want to believe reality, I guess, about it. So
Yeah,
You know those-
I rewatched the trailer and I was like, wow, this is what blew everyone away, was seeing all these creatures. There was like an abundance of them and like tons of plant life and it's
Everything's
just-
so barren
it's
in
kind
that
of
game.
spotty. Like there's not a lot of stuff going on. Like
it's everything I've wanted to do since I was a little kid in the game was explore space and land on planets, basically.
right?
Yeah.
And I feel like if they had made it more focused and smaller, that maybe they could have achieved like at least something more appealing with a lot more going on. And the weird thing that I don't understand is I read an article because like there's no online like feature where you can interact with other people, but
You won't see each other, apparently.
right. And I read an article that said something like in I think Europe there are copies of the game that on the back of the case it's printed on there that there is online features, but it's covered by a sticker on all those cases. And Ben noticed because my mom was trying to stream something on like Netflix that night and she couldn't, it wasn't working, and he turned on the PS4.
Well, the PS4 was already on. I had been playing No Man's Sky, and it's always online. The game.
well, yeah,
So-
it would have to be because all those random planets, once you discover them, they get registered. So there are
Yeah.
servers. There is online functionality. But there's a difference between online functionality and multiplayer. That's
exactly.
that's where
It's the
kicker is.
equivalent to having the Nintendo Miiverse on my PS4, essentially.
Right.
Right.
Unless you want to name every planet Andrew Sucks, which, if anyone's listening to this, please name some planets Andrew Sucks, and then take a picture and post them anywhere on the internet. Somewhere that
From here on out, everything I discover is Andrew Sucks.
Do it. I was trying to get my brother to do it, and he wouldn't do it. So I have another brother named Andrew. If you could just name like 4 or 5 things Andrew Sucks, and just send me the pictures so I can rub it in his stupid face.
I'll find the most, we'll call them unique creatures, and name them all. Andrew Sucks.
Can you name a planet Biblioteca just after me?
Biblioteca. Name it Library?
Yes.
Don't
Because it's full of knowledge and discovery. Speaking of library, I'm actually tomorrow in my hometown. There's a little Comic-Con thing at my old local library growing up, so that's neat. Taking the family.
That's really cool.
Yeah, should be a good time. Adam, let's hear it flat out. No Man's Sky, in your opinion, it seemed like it was pretty much bullshit on your radar to begin with.
Pretty much. I don't. We'll see. It looks like it's probably letting a lot of people down. Ironically enough, like we were just saying with the pre-orders, if you pre-ordered this game, it gave you some kind of special ship, and that is breaking people's games now using that ship. So
let me tell you about my
worst case scenario for pre-orders.
Let me tell you about my first playthrough with the game, because I'm on my second playthrough, because I got the pre-order freaking ship, and it makes you skip a quest for a crucial component for the entire game, if you have it. So, lo and behold, I traded my ship. I didn't have the damn hyperdrive to get out of the galaxy anymore. I was like, I don't know what to do. And then I erased my file and started again.
Wow. See?
Wow.
Pre-orders. They should only be T-shirts. That should be a pre-order. Just hand out T-shirts.
And buttons. Buttons are legit.
Fuck a button. If I'm pre-ordering, if I'm taking a risk on some shit, I'm gonna need a T-shirt.
And only one size.
You should have a T-shirt.
Yeah. Fuck it, I'll cram into this small T-shirt. I don't give a fuck. It was free.
Think about towels. I'd like a No Man's Sky towel. That'd be pretty cool.
See,
but like a full-size towel.
I bought God of War not even on pre-order, and the guy was like, "Here, have a shirt." I was like, "Fuck yeah, I'll take that shirt." Now, this game's been out for like a week, but apparently you guys still have shirts for this game, so I'll take one.
Why not?
But pre-orders are bad in general. This game, I don't know. This is the problem with not managing your expectations. This is exactly why. Because if you don't, you're going to be disappointed. And if you think that something's going to be fucking awesome, the chances of it actually being as awesome as everyone says it's going to be is... But that's the way we live in. And it's no one's fault but the people who are promoting this kind of shit. We hear about these games 2 or 3 years out from release, and then all anybody can do is sit on the couch and go, you know what I think the game's gonna be? I think it's gonna be like Space Pirates. I bet you there's gonna be dick monsters, and the one guy that said dick monsters is probably like, yes, I fucking knew it. Everybody else can suck it, but I called this fucking dick monsters in this game.
That becomes his favorite game.
Yeah, and that guy's like super He's the one that probably bought it off of eBay for like $1,800 or whatever. Like
so
3 days before it came out. Fucking dick monsters confirmed. But yeah, other than that, it's don't be overhyped. It's the problem. There's a problem with Watch Dogs. This has been the problem with a lot of other games. They should not show games off more than 2 years out. I don't think. I think that's a bad thing.
Exactly. It's the same thing with movies, too. Somebody will be like, oh, such and such movie was announced for 2018. And I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm not going to care until I buy the ticket to go see the movie. And that's it.
Like when Marvel announced their whole lineup for like the next 10 years. It's like, really?
Yeah. What is the purpose of that? Other than to build hype. And
do we need another Thor movie? Really? Like, I don't care. Like,
oh, come on, man. Thor's great.
I haven't even seen the second one.
That one's not good.
The first one is good.
I like the first one. The first one's alright. My favorite
Another.
is are the Iron Man movies. Those are my favorite, but
I think the Captain America movies blow the Iron Man movies out of the water. But the Iron Man
Probably.
movies are definitely the next step in the Marvel universe. I think Winter Soldier is still maybe the best Marvel movie to date. Civil War.
Yeah. I haven't seen Civil War.
Civil War is fantastic.
It was really good.
But that's more of like Avengers 2.5 than an
Yeah.
actual like Captain America. You can't be like, hey, this is Captain America's movie when it like rides on every other Marvel superhero in the universe right now.
yeah.
Right.
I really liked the Iron Man movies up until 3. I hated 3. I thought the first 2 were really good though.
They
3 was alright.
should not have ever done that with the Mandarin.
No, they shouldn't have.
That's pretty awful.
I was sold on that movie up until that point.
Yes. Spoiler alert.
Yeah. If you haven't seen the movie yet, fucking get a life. See the movie.
Yeah, get a life. Jesus, people, it's been out forever. Go watch Iron Man 3. What the fuck are you doing? Living in a cave?
You can discover dick monsters, but you can't go see Iron Man 3.
You guys put your dick monster games down and go watch fucking Iron Man 3.
Put your dick monster games down and get outside and play. What the hell?
We're still
Yeah.
inside.
Well, that's you know what? Beautiful segue unintentionally, guys. Suicide Squad. Oh, man, we got to talk about it. We always seem to talk about a crappy movie that's released. I don't know if anyone here saw it. I had free tickets, and I still didn't go see it because I didn't want to see it.
Wow.
I got in a fight with my significant other over it because she wanted to see it. I was like, I can't. I don't want to see that. Please don't make me do that. I will go see anything else for you.
Oh, wow.
So,
You should
I
have
didn't
used
do it.
those free tickets and snuck into a different movie. Like a
That's
boss.
true.
That's what
that's
I would
what
have
we're
done.
going to do
Nice.
when we go back. So,
I haven't seen it. Neither has Dex, but I don't really have any desire to see it anymore. I was excited to at first because I don't know, the trailer sold me. But now that everybody's talking about it, they're like this and that about it. I'm like, I could wait. I don't have to see it.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I mean, I don't like to let things that I read about, like, complaints about how characters don't match up with their original in, like, comic books and stuff, but I don't like to let that affect my biasness. But I've also heard it would have been better off being rated R, because then they could have also delved more into those sides of the characters that they kind of just fell short or fell flat with. And just because, you know, if it's going to be that dark and twisted, making it PG-13 is kind of setting it up for failure. So I heard that they're considering maybe putting out like either re-releasing in theaters or a Blu-ray release of like an unedited version. So I'm like, oh, if they're gonna do that, why do I have to see it
Still
now?
not going to be good. You could make it NC-17.
I was about to say, yeah, like I don't see there's not probably a lot of hope for that movie.
I do want to say that I pretty much am probably all talking next week on the show. I'll probably be like, yeah, she talked me into it. So
I tried to sneak into another movie, but the usher caught me. Just come with that
Yeah.
excuse. I'll let you ride.
Sure they did, Travis. Wink, wink. So I'll probably cave in and end up seeing it for her. Although I'll be a crabby bastard the whole time probably, but you know, whatever. Could be worse. Adam, I'm pretty sure you give this 2 thumbs down.
I give it 2 not gives a fucks. That's
There
where
it
I
is.
stand with this. I didn't care about this movie when they announced it. I still don't care about this movie. That's
I
the
cared
only
about
way
it.
that
I
we're
cared
ever
about
going
when they
to.
announced it, but the first time I ever saw Jared Leto and his Joker, I was like, I'm done. No, I can't do it. Not gonna do it.
If you
All
want people to stop making crappy movies, you just got to stop paying people to make crappy movies and stop talking about people making crappy movies. and
Well,
stop,
Ghostbusters did lose like $70 million, I heard, so that's good. People didn't really. Not that we always talk about Ghostbusters when Blue Troop's on or anything, but
I know it's like all right.
we won't. I'm sorry, we won't.
It's and that's another thing. Like, it really doesn't change my life that they rebooted Ghostbusters. I thought it was a poor decision. It didn't look funny. I didn't go see it, and now the company's losing money because I didn't give it to them.
They're still gonna make a sequel, apparently.
And like
Yeah,
70
that's the
million
thing with
other
those-
people also didn't give them money. So that's good.
speaking of sequels and stupid contracts that make terrible movie series like a million movies long, Resident Evil
Yes.
final chapter.
Didn't they say
What
that
a
last time? I could have sworn they
Shit
said
show
that
that
last
is.
time. I saw
Resident
the
Evil,
first two.
too many.
Don't get me wrong, I love every single one of those movies, but not for the reasons why they're supposed to be loved.
I maybe saw the third one.
The third one was the best one out of all of them.
Really? I
think
didn't
so.
think so.
Every other one is garbage.
I
though.
liked the first one because it seemed like it had hope, and then after that I was like, what are you doing? You're
The
failing.
second one had
This
Nemesis,
has nothing
right?
to do with the games.
I like
Second
the
one-
first one probably the best, honestly.
No, which one?
The first one too. That was probably my favorite.
And then the last one that came out, I think they decided to get the bright idea of trying to put some of them in their actual in-game outfits, which looked really stupid on camera, like
Right.
Ada Wong in her stupid red dress, and like it doesn't make any sense anymore.
And in
Very-
3D.
Yeah. Very rarely does it pan out when you put someone in their origin costume on the big screen that it looks cool. Very rarely. In
Oh man,
comics,
well there's
it's
things you
yeah.
can do in comic books or video games or novels that just sound so good or they'll look so good animated,
Yeah.
and then you try to put that into real life and it'll never work.
Exactly. Well, is it game of the week time, Adam?
Yeah. So everybody played The Immortal, which is
Yeah.
Great way to kick it in, Adam.
the best dungeon crawling game. I don't even know. I don't know what genre I would even put that game in.
The genre is frustrating.
I was going to say the genre is shit. So,
And so when I
That
was a
gonna be
little
the
kid
genre.
and I got a Sega Genesis, I got Altered Beast, which is fantastic, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, which is also fantastic, and The Immortal, which is incredibly frustrating to an 8-year-old.
Yes, so that means one of your parents didn't like you.
Oh man,
32.
it was so. I kept thinking like, I just gotta get a little farther and figure this out. But that
I think-
game is not designed for children. I don't even know
No.
if it's designed for adults. I think it was designed for one guy who was making the game.
yeah, I was going to say this game makes me way angrier in my early 30s than it did when I was 8. Because now I feel like, man, I got this kind of game, please. Then you pick it up and totally throws you off like, nope, not one of those. Got you now. And it's shit. But,
It's
I mean,
got some redeeming qualities. The music is pretty good.
it was good on the NES version, too.
Yeah, the music's good. I think the sound effects are good. The visuals are pretty good for an early Sega game.
Yeah. The bloody, gory deaths are pretty cool, but that's about where the goodness stops.
Yeah, I was about to say, I can't really go much further than that.
And you have to play the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And by play the game, it's really just push buttons and hope things work out in your favor.
That's what I was doing. It's just kind of pushing buttons like, oh yeah, I'm trying not to die here. That's a thing.
So instead of playing this game for 30 minutes this week, I actually had my brother, who's never ever even heard of this game, play it for 30 minutes while I watched him and didn't talk to him or help him at all. Which is fun because you can see, okay, I've got this. I'm figuring this out. And then you just realize like, that's not it. I'm not figuring this. I have no clue how to pull myself out of this pit.
And there's a lot of cheap deaths in that game too. Like you really got to know your stuff.
You go into the dark room and find the amulet of light, and if you use it, it kills you. Like, it's so misleading. Like, to the point where you're, oh, okay, it's a puzzle. I'm in a dark room, I've got the amulet of light, I'll just go to the inventory, use the amulet of light. Nope, it just fucking killed me. And
Yep.
that's it. That's that. Now I gotta navigate around these pits again, which apparently there is a way to climb out of the pit. Did anyone successfully climb out of the pit?
I didn't even get to the pit.
Pits just open up underneath your feet like all the time in that game. They'll
I
just-
did not reach the pit either.
There's a pit, I kid you not, if you walk left immediately from, you fall into a pit and die.
Oh, I remember that on the NES version, like right when you start.
Yeah.
The cheap. I did not do it on this one though.
Yeah, there's
I
pits
knew that
all
shit was
over the
probably
place.
coming.
And apparently you can get out of them somehow. I've yet to see it happen.
Yeah, like he hangs on his wand.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's like, I
For
got the
those of
staff.
you that haven't played the game, let's try to describe it. It's a weird, what is it, like isometric, basically, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
really. Oh god, the combat. Oh my god.
Replay.
This is one of those games where like I had to look up on like GameFAQs or something how to actually play the fucking game.
Yeah,
And I
the
still
combat's like Punch Out, except it's not nearly as intuitive or responsive as Punch Out.
It's very delayed.
Or
The
functional.
Yes, it's
And
broken.
there seems to be some randomness to who it doesn't really seem to rely on speed. It sometimes the troll will hit you regardless.
It's like whose line is it anyway? It's where the mechanics are made up and the points don't matter.
Wayne Brady comes out.
Wayne
and
Brady just starts singing. That would have made that
push
game
left and right,
fucking
but Wayne
awesome.
Brady kicks your ass. So
Why hasn't
Yeah,
Wayne Brady made a game? That's what I want to know.
I want to play the game with Wayne Brady and watch him get angry because that guy's always happy. He's never angry.
You want to ruin Wayne Brady's day with the Immortal?
Well, you ruined our game with the Immortal.
You hear that, Wayne
Well-
Brady? Whatever important shit you're doing right now, drop it. Come
Yes.
play the Mortal with us.
So Adam, thank you so much for this game of the week. Like we really enjoyed it.
I really
And-
appreciate it.
So
I
I
really
looked it up.
appreciate
The game is so fucking hard that in the actual instruction manual, there is a walkthrough for the first level.
Wow.
Like
And
a
you probably, knew,
step-by-step
and you probably knew
walkthrough.
this going in. You're like, oh, I'm gonna get these guys with the game that is broken.
I posted it in the Hibiki TMD. I've posted the
Yep.
PDF of the instruction manual, like halfway
Yeah,
through
like
the
2
week.
days before we recorded this episode.
Yeah. So I threw it up
Fun.
there. But
Yeah.
it is a cool fucking instruction manual. There's apparently also a strategy guide for this game, which is something you didn't really see a lot of Sega games doing.
Is there
Nintendo,
a hotline
obviously.
to call too?
The what?
A hotline to call?
There is. It's a 900 number. My brother tried to call it. He was like, you know what? I'm trying to call this 900 number and see if I can get out of this pit. But unfortunately, I guess 30 years ago, or whenever this game came out, that hotline number is not open anymore.
Oh,
See, I want there to be a documentary, and I don't know if one exists, of the people that answered those hotlines and just their daily life, like back in the day.
oh man, we should reach out and be like, hey, anybody who worked on that call line back in the day, tell us your secrets.
Man,
And I wonder
those-
if like it was one call line for multiple games.
Tell me your secrets, wizard.
You know, here's a fun fact about call lines, and this actually goes into a little bit what we talked about last week, Travis, is Jason Todd, the death of Jason Todd in the 80s when they killed him off. Basically, what DC did was they had him get blown up, and at the end of the issue, they said, call this 900 number if you want Jason Todd to live, because he was he was not as popular as Dick Grayson. He was the second one.
I remember that. That was
So,
cool.
and then call this number if you want him to die. So he ended up dying.
Of
And it
course.
was only by a matter of like 30 calls or something like
Oh,
that.
wow.
And it turns out some dude in California fucking hated Jason Todd so much that he set up this automated machine to ring the 900 number like hundreds of times.
Oh my god.
So this one guy, Jason Todd, actually was killed off in the DC universe for 25 years. All because one dude in his vendetta against Jason Todd that he just really hated him and called this 900 number literally like 700 times.
You saw that all the time back in the day on like television shows, anything. Called it. I mean, some TV series decided if the character lived or died. I remember like back in the 90s.
That's
Like,
how.
it was usually 80% of the time probably rigged, like you said.
Well, there in the 70s, Saturday Night Live did a thing where they were going to kill the lobster, and overwhelmingly people were like, "Please don't kill the lobster." So they called in, "Please don't kill the lobster." A few years after that, Andy Kaufman made the ultimatum on Saturday Night Live, saying that he would just go away, not ever be on Saturday Night Live again if you called this number. And people, I think that was
Yeah.
during his turn as a heel with the Jerry Lawler thing.
Yeah.
and people voted him off of Saturday Night Live through
Oh,
a call
wow.
line as well. Which
Funny.
that was if you
Pretty
don't know
brutal.
who Andy Kaufman is, then fuck you. That's what I say, kids, millennials. Get your shit together. Read a
Damn
fucking
millennials.
book. Look up Andy Kaufman and Jerry Lawler. He's a genius.
I know who Andy Kaufman is, but not Jerry Lawler.
And Jesus.
Andy Kaufman did this.
And Jesus on the internet.
Yeah. Andy Kaufman did this run as in professional wrestling as this horrible person who would like yell at children and belittle women and like
He
wrestle
would
women
fight
in the ring.
women. He was the women's wrestling champion as a man.
Yeah. And then Jerry Lawler, and this was all, it was all staged. However, everything Andy Kaufman did, you could never tell what was staged and what was not. So
He was a master at that.
huge thing with Jerry Lawler. Jerry Lawler hurt his neck, and Andy Kaufman said, "Oh, well, this was all supposed to be staged, but you really hurt my neck, and I'm gonna sue you. I'm gonna sue you so bad." And they would go on like talk shows and get into like
They were on the David Letterman show
Yeah.
and on live TV, and Jerry Lawler like spouted all these F-bombs, and it
Yeah.
aired,
Oh, wow.
and it like
Andy
they
Kaufman
didn't
threw
let
water
David
in his
Letterman
face,
know or something, and he banned him from the show or
Yeah.
something for like years.
and it was all, and nobody ever knew. Nobody for 30 plus years knew that was not a real thing, that it was all staged, and that him and Jerry Lawler were actually good friends. So, hats off to Andy Kaufman. And
hats off to us
Saturday
from
Night.
going from the immortal to Andy Kaufman to David Letterman to back again.
Anytime you land on Andy Kaufman, it's a good day. That's a good day.
Is
I
it?
love Man from the Moon. I love that. I thought Jim Carrey did an excellent job.
That's probably the best Jim Carrey movie
Yeah.
that there ever was. I think that's the best thing he's ever done.
All right. Well,
There's
Song
that.
of the Deep. By the way, guys, Song of the Deep. Have you guys beaten that game yet?
No, we stopped playing it. In all honesty,
I heard the controls were iffy.
it's great as far as the controls go. I didn't have any complaints about the controls, because once you get your upgrades, it becomes so much easier to navigate. Where I stopped playing the game is, they have this extended puzzle section, which is so unbelievably tedious and just kind of dumb. Like, the puzzles aren't really hard. It takes a little bit of thinking power, but you have to sit there and spin these dials. And they're all independent of each other, so you have to spin like 17 different dials, 47 different ways, just to match up these light beams. And I was like, you know what? I have better things to do with my time.
I ain't spinning your dials no more.
Exactly. I'm not
Spin
spinning
these dials, fool.
It really sucks, especially since we're only posting 2 games right now. We didn't want to get stuck on one and not be able to do anything new. So we kind of stopped for now. But I know a few people were watching it, so maybe we'll come back to it eventually.
I'm telling you, man. You gotta stream some Castlevania 3.
Do it.
Yeah, now that I have an emulator downloaded on this computer, I might just do that.
And also, can't wait
Definitely do
to
it.
stream some Overwatch finally. Someday.
Yes! Yes!
Why'd you hit me? She hit me.
Overwatch makes you be violent. What can you say? Adam, what's going on in your current playlist? What have you been working on? I see you've been almost beat Arkham Knight for the most part.
Motherfucking Riddler trophies. Oh my god. I do this every time. I'm like, man, you know what? I forgot how much I like these Batman games. These are a lot of fun. And then I get to the Riddler trophies, and I'm like, this is not fun anymore. This is just a collectathon. This is the same problem Assassin's Creed has. There's
Arkham Knight's the third one, right?
Yeah.
well, it's third, fourth. It all depends on if you count Origins. Origins wasn't made by Rocksteady, so you could say it's the third one, but the continuality of it, the events of Origins did happen, so there's that
So
aspect too.
Canon, but not canon.
Yeah, canon, but not part of the Rocksteady trilogy of things. Regardless,
Easily one.
too many things to collect. That can easily ruin a good game. Assassin's Creed is the other one that comes to mind. That is overall a pretty decent game, and then you're like, fucking feathers and animus fragments and like 5,000 things. Unity had like 500 things for me to collect.
I think saying Assassin's Creed is a good game is going a little far, though.
It's...
Oh shit, shots fired. Boo, boo, boo.
I haven't played the latest one. I think Unity left a bad taste in everybody's mouth.
I like the pirate one, and that's it. Otherwise, it's... I don't know,
I like 2 and 4.
2
That's
was
it.
the biggest step in the right direction after the first.
I'm 100%ed 2. I collected all that shit. I was so into 2 at the time. So I'm guilty of the collectathon addiction.
Well, you have to for the trophies. You gotta collect it all.
Look what Banjo-Kazooie started. Son of a bitch.
Fucking Banjo-Kazooie.
even before Banjo-Kazooie. Donkey Kong Country.
Donkey Kong!
Donkey Kong Country. Yeah, for the SNES, that's where it
But
began.
Banjo-Kazooie took it to like the level of the whole game is that. I mean, you can beat Donkey Kong Country and not care about like the animal trophies and stuff. Or
That's true.
collecting all
You can
the
make
letters.
0 progression in Banjo-Kazooie if you don't collect anything.
Yeah. So, what do you guys got coming up for future streams? Have you decided on anything?
Us?
Yeah.
I think tomorrow we're starting Ratchet and Clank.
Oh,
that's
nice.
a lot
Did
of
you have a
fun.
poll on that on Twitter?
Yes. So,
And it won at literally the last minute. It was neck and neck with Bayonetta, and somebody voted in the last 60 seconds, and Ratchet and Clank won.
Nice. You guys get a lot of feedback on your polls. I'm jealous.
You know what? I was so happy, and it was because we had a spike in people on Twitter communicating with us, because the poll I'd done before that, only 3 people voted for. So I was really excited.
In there.
But, yeah.
Ratchet and Clank's a great game.
It is.
That's a lot of fun.
I've been playing Ratchet and Clank forever. I'm like, I don't want to say I'm a Ratchet and Clank savant, but I totally am. I fucking love Ratchet and Clank. It's my lifeblood.
I thought the movie was fine. I thought it was a good family movie.
You saw the movie? Good.
I did.
I enjoyed the movie. It
I
was
saw it with my daughter finally.
yes, it's a very good it's a nice step in a good direction for video game movies because they had a lot of the right ideas. They were like, hey, let's play this out as a giant cutscene.
Yeah, that's really all it literally was. Was it, like every
was fine.
cutscene put
I thought
together.
it was handled well. It wasn't horrible. You know.
Unfortunately, it
Actually,
did not do
speaking
well.
of video game movies, currently
in
I
the
saw
box office.
Angry Birds, and I don't know, it was okay.
Oh, that's out?
That's no.
Oh, I don't even know.
Anybody see Warcraft yet?
No,
No.
I haven't.
Wait, so did you say Angry Birds was good?
It was okay. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the Ratchet and Clank movie, at first I was very worried because Ratchet and Clank is an IP that I love dearly, and I was like, God damn it, they're gonna put it in movie form, everybody's gonna hate it, and then I'm never gonna see a new Ratchet and Clank game ever again. But I think the execution was great. Could have used a tiny bit more depth as far as the series goes. But it's the first installation of what I feel like is going to be a few movie game hybrid releases.
Well, they're supposed to be working on Sly as well. That's the same guy that did Ratchet and Clank.
So hyped. I am so on that hype train.
Wait,
Feeding
Yeah.
the coal into the furnace of the train.
They dropped
Sly
that
movie?
trailer like
Yeah, you didn't know
4
about the
years
Sly
ago.
movie?
though.
No?
Yeah, they announced the Sly movie, like 4 years ago.
Yeah, it's a very
That's
long time ago.
my- That's my go-to guy for Sony.
Yeah,
Anyway.
the Sly games, they're okay, but
What?
Ratchet and Clank.
Get out of here.
Yeah, Ratchet and Clank is okay. The new one is fantastic, but Sly is where it's at, man.
Sly games are definitely where it's at. I mean, I like Ratchet and Clank. Jack and Daxter's okay. I never really
Jack and
minded.
Daxter.
I love Jack and Daxter.
So those were
Fuck
like
that game.
the heavy hitters of
Those
the
games
season.
are awful.
Talking about collectathon. So
Yeah,
the
Jesus Christ, that's nothing but collecting things in those games.
impromptu. Here's my top 3 PS2 platformers of those 3 we just mentioned. Number
Uh-oh.
3 is Sly. Number 2 is Jack and Daxter. Number 3 is or number 1 is Ratchet and Clank. Hands down, that's how it goes.
What?
The end.
Well, there you have it.
First
I'm
of
gonna
all,
have to
Jack
go
and
to
Daxter
three.
could have had a good thing
No
going,
way.
but they went in this really odd direction.
You know what?
They totally did, because the first one is nothing like the last one.
No.
Jack X Combat Racing is actually really fun. So we'll leave that one as the outlier. That one was actually super fun, and I suggest everybody play it.
If you're gonna go characters from that era in a 3, you got to go with at least Crash Bandicoot at your 2 or 3. He's got to be on there. Crash was cool.
No.
That was that was PS1 though, man. That trilogy
Yeah.
was all
That's,
PS1.
I'm just thought we're talking Sony mascots.
Well, we weren't.
Maybe
Way to
once
ruin
it
it.
gets rebooted. I don't know, because I was kind of I
Way to ruin
was
the
not
track.
a PS1. I was not a PS1 player growing up, so when I played
was.
Crash, I was like, this is cool. I
like
guess.
Crash Bandicoot.
Yay! Somebody agrees. I'm not hopeless.
I don't think the Crash games are. I think they suffer from Sonic the Hedgehog syndrome,
Yes.
which is if you were a kid and you played Crash, you're probably like, hey, this game's fantastic. But if you've played Crash any other time of your life, or Spyro, I think Spyro falls into that category as well.
Yes.
Where if you grew up and you're like, man, I played Spyro all the time, it was awesome. But you go back and you play it, and it was not awesome. So you end
like,
up,
wow, this is garbage.
yeah, it's like, wow, everything kind of looks, this is like the same, and it's just,
Let me just rephrase it then. Number 3, you got to go Jack. Number 2, you go Ratchet and Clank. And number 1, you got to go Sly all the way.
yeah, absolutely. I'm totally on board with that. Because Jack and
Just
Dexter, they had something special with the Precursor Legacy, the first one. Even though you had all this goddamn orbs to collect, that was awful. But then the second one, after the success of Grand Theft Auto 3, they decided to take their franchise into
Another playable
entirely
character.
different directions.
Second one.
It was open world. You always annoyingly had cops driving around after you for some fucking minor infringement,
Yes.
which was completely unnecessary and did not add to the gameplay at all.
Well,
And
you're-
you also took a silent protagonist and made him talk like it was not a big thing, which didn't add anything to the story because the main narrative was still driven by Daxter.
I still remember, like, the main impression that Jack gave me when he said his first words was, wow, he's kind of pissed off. And that was it.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
as far as character development, that was it.
What's up, Cypher? Douchebag.
yeah, Cypher. Suck it, get wrecked.
That was actually my cat that just came
Oh.
in. So.
I was like, who's Cypher?
I was on
unfamiliar
board.
character.
I was on board. Suck it, Cypher.
Anyway, speaking of top 3s, it's that time, I guess, this week.
Oh, shit.
Top 3. Have we decided we're going with top 3 video games based off of movies? Other way around?
Video games based off of movies or movies based off of video games? That's
No,
either one is hard.
What movies could work as a game, or
Yes.
what is the best game movies based on a game?
Let's do movies based off of games.
None.
No, I'll go first.
All right, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is Doom.
Wait a minute, that's not a game based off a movie. That was a movie made from a game.
Yeah, I thought that's what we were picking.
Top 3 movies that should be made into video games is what we're doing.
Movies that should be made into video games.
Is that what we're doing?
I don't know.
The organization this week, guys, I'm loving it. I'm just kidding.
Okay, look, movies that should be video games or games based on movies.
Okay. I think
The silence is overwhelming.
And that Doom
I think-
movie was not good.
I love that movie. It's so stupid, and it's like it's an action rompy, just like stuff is happening because of reasons. Pew pew pew.
let's do movies that could work as games.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. We're all very enthused. Let's. Who,
I was more enthused about games that were based off movies because I had a list for this one I have to think some more on. So
Well, if that's easier, we can just do that.
flip a coin.
Okay. Whatever you have the list for, because then that means one of us is prepared.
That means we actually have some sort of show going on here. So,
Yes.
top 3 video games based off of a movie. Who wants to go first?
Top 3 video games based off of a movie.
Okay, wait, this is like the best.
I'll go first
Like,
while
we
you guys
consider the
decide
best.
on
The best. Right.
what
Okay.
you want to talk about.
Well, then Final Fantasy won't be on there.
The best game based on, but number 3, GoldenEye for the Nintendo 64. It's
Okay.
obviously
see that.
easy choice. One of the best-selling Nintendo 64 games. The best-selling Nintendo 64 game that wasn't made by Nintendo. Pretty sure everybody ever that was alive in that time has at some point played GoldenEye. More people have probably played GoldenEye than have actually seen the movie.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've never seen a 007 movie.
GoldenEye
Oh.
was a good movie, but I think it definitely was a better game. So that's why it's on the list. I know Travis hates it. So,
I've seen
I
2
love that
James Bond
game.
movies, and I don't like James Bond movies.
however, it did not age well. Go sit down and play GoldenEye today. Now that everyone's really accustomed to twin stick shooters, it's really hard to play with the C buttons. And motherfucking Oddjob just runs around and shoots
The
everything.
muddy ass pixelated graphics don't
It's
help.
pretty bad. Paintball mode though, big head mode. I mean, come on, that game was fantastic.
So we're going to go around at each person's
Yeah.
3?
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
you
do
should
a
do
round.
that.
Who's next?
I'll go next.
All right, what
Alright.
you got?
My number 3 is going to be the TMNT PS2 movie video game tie-in.
Okay.
Good one. It's a good
I'll
game.
let that one slide because that was a direct tie-in to the movie. All right.
Yes, that one
one-
was. I enjoyed that one because for once in my life, I was playing a Ninja Turtles game where I was like, man, all the pieces are here. The execution, I would say, moderate, like to okay, but it was a completed game that I could play from beginning to end and not have too many complaints.
Yeah, it was a solid game at the time.
And
Yep,
it
I
gave
think we
you a
talked
little
about that last
backstory.
time too. You're on.
What was that?
I think you and I talked about that game last time. You're on too.
I think so too. I'm an old dog. I don't have any new tricks. I'm sorry. I like 4 games and that's it. It's Ratchet and Clank, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and Rogue Galaxy. That's it.
Dex, what do you got on board for your number 3, or do you need some more time?
I would like to go last.
Okay. My number 3, The Thing for PS2.
Oh, nice.
Oh
That's
my
one I
God.
totally forgot about. That's
It's a good
call.
one.
That's
It's
a good
a damn
movie
one.
too.
I was just gonna say I have a funny story about that. It's really short.
Go ahead. No,
Okay.
go ahead.
So I was like probably 12 years old, and we were renting. I got to rent a game from Blockbuster, and so I was 12. Finding Nemo had just come out, and I had a PS2, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna rent the PS2 Finding Nemo game. Get home, open the case to put it in, and it's The Thing for
That's
PS2.
awesome. That's awesome.
I just popped it in, and I was like, I don't want to play this.
That's a hell of a way to get your feet wet on the PS.
Yeah.
I had the bouncer, so. And do you want to get into that, Adam?
Oh man, we can get into that after we're done with the top 3.
All right,
I'm not letting
all right.
you walk away this week.
You
without
had it
talking
way
about
better
the
getting the
nonsense.
Thing than I had, so.
You know they did that prequel remake movie that wasn't quite bad either.
Yeah. This game scared the shit out of me, just like the movie.
Man,
I loved
was
it.
Good. That was a good movie.
At the time, some of the best graphics around, considering what was it released in like 2003, 2002?
Yeah, I would say 2001 or 2002. I would think.
Konami distributed the game, I'm pretty sure. I don't think they made it. I can't remember who made it. But I know Konami didn't make it. That's all I know.
Which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's Konami.
Not in
is hit-
2002, maybe. I don't know. I think Konami was always good at making games. They're just not good people. There's a difference.
I don't know. Yeah, they're. Hopefully they're good pachinko makers. Because people love pachinko in Japan, apparently.
Yeah, Konami exclusively makes pachinko machines in Japan. They're like gambling machines, and that's what they do now. They make Silent Hill ones. We don't get that awesome fucking demo we got. No, they'll cancel that so the Japanese gamblers can have their go-to pachinko machines.
Did
Yeah,
you see
I've
the
seen
Metal
that.
Gear Solid 3 pachinko machine yet?
No.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's so awesome looking, and it's terrible.
Didn't Kojima go on record like, yeah, this is why I don't want anything to do with Metal Gear anymore. Like, that project is closed book, like it's done.
And they really...
Probably.
Metal Gear 5 is so good, but it's got so many things that are wrong with it.
Adam, number 2. What do you got?
Wait.
Dex didn't give her number 3.
Oh my God! I'm so sorry.
Jesus, what
Way to
kind
go,
of host
host.
are you, you monster?
You're a monster.
I'm gonna go drink a bottle of whiskey and be depressed. I'll be right back. Go ahead,
Oh,
Dex.
no, it's okay. Okay. I needed the time
Okay.
anyway, so it's fine. So I'd have to say it's not like the best game, which is probably why it's my number 3, but it holds a lot of nostalgia for me. But Jurassic Park for the Sega Game Gear.
Holy shit! That was gonna be my number 2.
Oh!
What?
Yes, I love that game. I still
Me
sit down and
too.
play that game every now and then. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I
That's a
love that
great
game.
choice. I would have put it a little higher up, but... And there are probably better Jurassic Park games, but I played that one all the
Probably.
time when I was a kid, so... That's awesome.
Yeah.
Way to go.
Woo!
All right, good one. Adam, what's going on number 2?
Number 2, I have to make a quick adjustment. I feel like there are decent video game tie-ins. Surprisingly, a lot of them can be found in the early 2000s. I would say the original Spider-Man game for PS2.
What the hell? I wrote that down for my number 2. You monster!
That game was awesome. That game was awesome. That was a good game. Apparently, the second one.
Way to go,
was
Adam.
better. But I
We
never
did
played.
it to
I never
each
got
other.
around to playing the second one.
Now who's fucking up?
Damn it.
I like the second one better than the first one. Way better, actually.
Yeah, apparently it's awesome, but I've never played it, so I couldn't.
Oh, that's a shame. Really,
Yeah,
that's...
Spider-Man 2 is the shit. I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, it introduced the whole web slinging perfectly. Just, yeah.
And then never again. Never ever again.
No,
You've done
the
it
Amazing,
right.
the Amazing
Burn the
Spider-Man
code.
game that was more modern was a good game. I didn't think it was bad at all. It was
Ultimate
pretty
Spider-Man.
much Spider-Man 2 on a PS3. So
Was it?
the movie was shitty, but
But Spider-Man 2?
no, not Spider-Man 2, the Amazing
The
Spider-Man.
Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh.
Well, we're okay.
Spider-Man 2 was fucking awesome. I like that
I
movie.
was about to say, Jesus,
I liked
man.
it.
I don't even know who you are anymore. But no, everything's good.
Oh, you know who I am.
Fucking Josie
Who
Scott.
am I? Because I can't remember who I am. Anyway.
So is it my turn for number
It's
2?
back to you, yep.
Okay. So my number 2 is a Game Boy Advanced game, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone for the Game Boy Advance. One of the only handheld games to make me jump and be legitimately afraid of what was happening on the screen. And the only Harry Potter game I've ever played all the way, actually. But yeah, it was a super fun game, and I love Game Boy Advance games. Those are my skis.
I've never actually played that game, but I'll take your word for it.
If you can find it emulated, play it for a little bit. It's fun. It's a solid, like, oh, this is an actual Harry Potter game. There's not other random bullshit, licensing bullshit going on.
Right.
Because it was before the Warner Brothers movies came out.
Just like the Hobbit game for PS2 came out before the movies came out too, right?
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
that game sucked, though.
That game
No, it
really-
wasn't The Hobbit. I think there was an actual Fellowship of the Ring game.
Okay. Yeah, it was
that game
very-
was awful. But they did do some stuff that they didn't. Some of the shit they cut from the movies with like the bearer rights were in that game, and I remember thinking like, hey, that's cool. At least these guys read the book. And then I was like, wow, this game's just really bad though. It doesn't fucking matter if it's got barrel rates in it. This is bad.
Because wasn't it like a Legend of Zelda clone?
Not
the
Not
It was
really.
like if you consider Zelda broken and ugly and frustrating, then yeah.
Yeah,
I think we might be thinking of two different games then.
that is possible. They did make a Hobbit game too. The one I was thinking of though, they probably came out around the same time.
I feel like I'm going to end up reviewing it now because I really want to go back and check it out, see how
Do
shitty
it.
it was.
It's not good. I think I have it actually, or I might have just left it somewhere.
I left
on a
it.
bench. Like, hey, I'm just gonna put you here on this bench and see, it's where we split ways.
And it stays there over time because everyone picks it up and puts it right back down. Or
Somebody
low game.
picked it up and now he lives in a mountain and just eats fish all the time. That's all he does.
Where the hell are we right now? We're in a mountain eating what?
I think it's your turn.
Harry Potter for the GBA. I did not expect that. I did not expect a GBA title on this list. So
Oh, yeah.
very good.
I like to
Very
mix it up.
Number 2 for me. I don't know if you guys like the movie. I love the movie. Seen it a million times. Played the game a bunch. The Warriors for PS2. Love it.
Nice. Yeah.
It's good stuff.
The PS2 was like, hey, all that shit we tried to do back in the Nintendo era, let's do that again. Except let's get it right. There was a lot of really decent movie tie-in games for the PS2.
It really was. It's no other console or whatever has that plethora of just.
Well, I don't
acceptable-
think anybody's willing to take that risk anymore. Of
That-
like, hey, let's make this tie-in game without it being like shovelware, like some bullshit downloadable game or some like DS game that
Yeah.
is like based off a kid's movie or something.
Movie tie-in games are pretty much doomed to fail nowadays.
Yep.
Unfortunately.
They're just considered cash grabs initially.
Yeah, that's.
Okay.
I can't think of any decent ones that have come out in the last 5 years. Like, well, I can, but I don't want to say it yet because it'll spoil my number one.
Dex, what do you got over there? Are you awake?
Yeah, I had to change my number 2.
Oh yeah, because Adam messed it up. I forgot. Way to go
I'm about to
again.
ruin everybody's
That's
number
okay.
one.
Adam's mistake.
It's okay, it was payback. So I'd have to say, and I hope this counts, but I am obsessed and have always been obsessed with Lego Harry Potter.
Oh my God! God damn it!
that was gonna be my number 1, but then
that
I
was
changed
gonna
my
be
mind.
my number one. Except I was gonna do Lego Harry Potter or Lego Star Wars. I was still undecided, but Lego fucking ruined my list. God damn.
Karma is a bitch. See, Adam, it works fast sometimes.
Damn.
Well, that means we have some things in common.
We
so
do have
Does that
some
mean
things
you guys
in
are
common.
fighting now?
That's awesome. That's awesome. No, that's a great.
You
game.
just
Lego
become
Harry
best
Potter.
friends.
Those Lego Harry Potter games are hands down the best Harry Potter games that there are.
Yes,
Oh.
and I love it. They're probably my favorite Lego games too.
I don't. Maybe the Star Wars. I might like the Star Wars games a slightly bit more, just because there's more characters that I care about. Like, there's only
Right.
so many random Gryffindor or Hufflepuff. It's like, all right,
Gryffindor
okay, I
child
get it.
A.
Yeah, I got Luna Lovegood. I don't need 8 other fucking Hufflepuffs. Like, enough. Stop giving them to me. Whereas,
See, the only Hufflepuff really worth damn, except for what was the teacher's name? I've seen Harry Potter. I've never been hardcore into it.
Sprout.
There you go.
Harry Potter is the shit.
It's good. I'm more obsessed with Star Wars, like you said, as far as characters and stuff.
But as far as the games go, Lego Star Wars and Lego Harry Potter are definitely on an even keel. Especially when they re-released the Lego Star Wars games and put them both into one game.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was pretty fantastic. So you got to
Yeah.
play through all 6. And then they made Lego Clone Wars, which just added more characters to it and more levels and shit. So, but the Lego Harry Potter games, I remember when the movies were coming out, I was like, at least we'll finally get those other fucking Lego Harry Potter game. It's got to be coming soon. It's got to come out after this movie's done. And I was more stoked for the years 4 through 7 than I was for the actual movies.
Do you think you'll end up getting the Force Awakens Lego game?
I've fallen off the
You're
Lego
gonna wait
games.
while the movies are packed in. That's what I'm gonna do.
I played the Lego movie game, which is also, I think Lego is holding down. They pretty much own the movie to game, which is why I was going to end with one as my number one.
Lego
They
Dimension.
own the movie to game tie-ins now. They got Jurassic Park and Indiana Jones. They're the only company that does it and does it with enough care that I think people are like, okay, well, these are kids games, but they're beat 'em ups and collectathons as well, but they're with familiar properties that I know and love. So I think a
Lego
lot of
has
people can
so
get
many
down.
properties that they have properties. They're like, okay, here's a little bit because we're like, they have Ghostbusters, they have Sonic now,
Yeah,
but
they got
like
Sonic.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters is only in like Lego Dimensions, like a level or two or something like that.
Yeah, and they have Back to the Future, The Simpsons,
Yep.
all
Yes.
sorts of stuff.
Portal.
I'm telling you, Legos are like 100 times cooler than they were when I was a kid. I had like Pirate and Knight, and like here's Pirate and Knight. Have
I
fun
was
with
gonna
Pirate
say
and Knight
Knight,
Lego.
like-
Don't hate on that Knight set. You
No,
cannot.
the Knight set was legit. So was the Pirate set. It came
Pirate
with
shit was cool
glow-in-the-dark
too.
skeleton.
And remember when all of the people were yellow and you couldn't get them in any other color?
Yes.
Yeah, that was way to be racist. Don't bring the racist around.
Cultural appropriation.
But no, yeah, like Lily's got Legos here. The range of Legos, it's awesome. There's Spider-Man Legos and Batman Legos, X-Men Legos.
That's not your wife we're talking about. That's his daughter. In case you
Yeah.
thought his wife played with Legos and had a big collection.
No, it's just me and Lily that play with the Legos here. Build the Legos, play with the
I miss the days of being a kid and like mixing my toys, like my Kinects. Do you remember Kinects, like the roller coaster, and
Yeah.
incorporate it with my Legos and all that stuff? Good old days. Now kids just have tablets and they play a little bit, but it's not like it used to be with
No, I don't know if it'll ever.
building your empire out of all your toys. So to
I would
speak.
have like week-long stories with my action figures, and I just like leave them all set up in my room, and I go to school, and I come back, and I play with my action figures. I leave them all set up. I go to bed. I go to school.
Yep.
That's what-
I have some
Seriously?
very strong feelings about that, but I'll leave that for another conversation another time. Because it's sad, the state of toys in general and how kids play.
Yeah.
It's,
Even kids today are like, oh man, just the attention span is so minute. And Adam and I'm sure Adam, you deal with it too, being a parent. It's really hard to keep your kids' attention these days, but it's just visual sensations everywhere you look for kids. You know what I mean? And like, it's
We
one thing
can't
after the
get
other.
through a
Everything
top 3
instant.
without getting sidetracked, Travis. I don't know what finger you're pointing at children right now, but we
Well,
get
see-
sidetracked so easily. It's probably our fault.
Yeah, I was gonna say, who gets it honest then? I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, millennial parents. Who's up at number 2? Ben?
is it? No, I did my number 2.
Adam, you were going to go, I think.
All right, so yeah,
Number 1.
I was gonna go with pretty much any Lego game as my number 1. Like I said, it was gonna be Star Wars or Harry Potter. I think they do the best movie tie-in games. That being said, there are still a handful of decent honorable mentions.
Well, don't say them. You might take me or Ben's picks or Dex's last pick.
Yeah, it's true. I probably shouldn't say them. Aladdin. That's what I'm saying. No, but yeah. So there's a ton. But I don't think anybody does it quite as well as Traveler's Tales. Traveler Tales? Yeah, Traveler Tales.
There you have it.
TT Games. Fuck, that's not
Benjamin
Traveler Tales.
Smith, Douglas Williamson, you're up.
Oh, for my numero uno?
Your numero uno.
Can I give an honorable mention? Because my number 1 isn't going to be too exciting. So I'm going
Only
to give
if
an
you want to
honorable
risk
mention.
stealing Travis's number 1.
I'm like 90,000% sure this is not going to be anybody's number 1.
Is
Okay.
it Bad Boys Miami Takedown?
No, even worse.
Damn it, Adam, that was my number 1.
I knew it.
It's going to be Dragon Ball Evolution for the PSP.
Wait a minute. That's not what? That's awful.
Yes. Yes. It
What? Get out of here!
it was a solid fighting game,
There's like 800 other decent Dragon Ball fighting games that you could have picked.
but it's not a movie tie-in. It's
Not
not
a
a
movie
movie tie-in.
tie-in.
There's Dragon Ball movies.
Well, I mean, I don't feel
Made
like
in the
anime
game.
counts.
not made directly into a game like Evolution was. Like the whole
Yeah.
Brawly saga isn't made into like one game.
Yeah, but Dragon Ball Evolution was made into a game, and it was decent. It had solid fighting mechanics. I played it for like a long time because it was the only game I had for the PSP for a while.
That's why you played it.
And I played it a lot in college, and it held up. It held up. I mean,
Maybe that's
Not
why
much
you
I
thought
can
it was
say.
so good, because that's all you had.
Yeah, there's.
you know, Stockholm Syndrome aside,
I think there's at
it's
least
solid.
2 other like Budokai PSP games out there.
But those aren't tie-in games, though.
I honestly can't say anything because I've never played it, and I never saw the movie. I never wanted to.
Don't bother seeing the movie. Just play the PSP game.
I'll
5
check it.
matches. And you'll be like, okay, I understand, and that's it.
So it's like what, like the other Dragon Ball Z fighting games, like the GBA ones, like it's a 2D or.
It's akin to Street Fighter. It's 2D, but 3D models, and
Yeah.
you fight, and it just held up. That's all I could say. That's
Well, honorable mention real quick if you're going to go video game
Street Fighter
fighting.
the movie.
Yes,
the
that's
game?
a good game.
Oh
It's
my
not that
god,
bad.
it's not a good game. What the
It's
fuck
not
are you
that bad.
smoking?
It's totally playable. Street Fighter the movie, the game for Sega Saturn.
Oh my god,
It's
it's
not that
something that
bad.
never had to be made. There's no reason that game.
No, it never had to be made. Trust me, I get that. I'm just saying, it's as a fighting game, it's not that bad. And I get what Ben's saying as far as a shitty movie-based fighting game, you wouldn't expect to be decent and passable.
yeah. It's okay,
No.
Travis. You and I, we could hang out and freaking play our shitty movie games together, and these guys,
And our SNES Aladdin.
yeah, and these guys could go kick dirt. I don't care.
Kick dirt. You could play awesome Lego games.
Yeah.
Like
so-
all of them.
Okay, so I digress. My number one, no surprise to anybody, is gonna be Ratchet and Clank right now because, as far as I'm concerned, that's the best they could have done so far.
Okay,
That's it. So no surprise to anybody.
fair enough. Is it my turn for number? Yeah, number
Yeah.
one.
Bad Boys Miami
know what?
Takedown.
This, yeah, Adam had to make me change my shit up.
Because it's
Um,
Bad Boys for life. Is it the
Charlie's-
Goonies too?
It's Charlie's Angels for the PS1. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're full of it.
My number one, seriously, and you probably wouldn't even expect this to be on any list. Terminator 2, the arcade game.
Nice.
Holy shit, I love that game.
That's a good. Yeah, that's fucking awesome. That's a good one.
It's,
Man.
I don't know why I always have to yell my picks. I'm sorry, I gotta catch
I
myself.
was gonna say.
I get
That's-
excited, guys.
Man,
That
how long
game's
has it
still
been
in
since you've
arcades,
seen
isn't
that arcade cabinet somewhere?
Oh my god, way too long. I love that game, and I love Revolution X with Aerosmith.
Yeah. Where it's like, don't do drugs. It tells you not to do drugs at the beginning of the game.
Let
Remember
me
that?
state this about my pick at one: just the arcade version, not the SNES. None of the other shitty ported down versions. This was the only one worth your time. It definitely holds up today. I'm sure if I played it right now, it would be awesome. What can you say? And I didn't yell that time.
No, you did not yell.
Progress. Baby steps. So we're gonna go play our fighting game movies and our Terminator 2, Adam, where you play in your little Lego world.
Man, fucking Terminator 2 that's a good pick. Man, I haven't seen that in probably 20 years.
Really?
I think the last place I saw that was at the Valley Mall when the movie
Oh,
theater
yeah, I
was
thought you
open.
meant you haven't seen the movie in 20 years.
No, I've seen the movie more
Oh
recently.
yeah, I was gonna say that's a long ass time.
No. Dex, number
Yes.
one.
My number one is Scott Pilgrim the game.
Oh, nice.
That's a good pick. I didn't
That
even
is
think
a
of that.
good pick.
I mean, I know it was kind of based on the graphic novel, but it came out when the movie came out, so
It was a movie time.
Passes. It gets a pass.
Man,
Yes.
Lily
It was-
loves that. She loves to collect money and buy things. I'm like, honey, we have to fight these guys. They're punching me. You gotta help me. And she's like, let's go in the coffee shop.
I think that's one of the
Help.
first games you and I beat together, right?
Yeah.
Like when we first started dating.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's so fun. It's so colorful. I like that it has different difficulty settings
Yeah.
for being so simple, and it has different endings if you want to play with different characters. So it has a lot of replayability. So I really liked that game.
And
That was the
soundtrack
last game.
is done completely by Anamanaguchi, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes! And the soundtrack was amazing for that game.
Is that the last good movie-based game released, now that we think about it?
What? No, because
Maybe.
Lego is just churning.
That doesn't count because they're a money-making machine now.
Yeah,
They just print
Lego's like
money.
an umbrella over all the, you know what I'm saying?
My last favorite Lego game, I think, was the Harry Potter ones, because after that they got the rights to the voices somehow.
Yeah.
And I don't like it with the voices very much.
You know, there is a game called Lord of the Rings: The Third Age. It was a co-op
Turn-based
RPG for PS2, and it was fucking awesome. The premise was a little dumb. It was like, oh, but there is a backup fellowship, and pretty much you just like Forrest Gump your way through this game, like following the original fellowship. What sucks is it's like a solid game, decent mechanics, 2 players. It's the only co-op RPG I think I've ever played. And you get to the end in the final cutscene, like your characters that don't hardly speak at all bow down to Aragon, who's now king, and he's like, "You don't bow to anyone," and it's like ripped straight from the movie, and it was so bad. It was so bad, and it ruined this like 60-hour experience that I had with this game. That I was like, okay, this is a dumb premise, but I'm totally getting on board with this. And then they like just rip the ending from the movie and take the audio and put it into new, and it was awful. It was awful.
Wow.
Terrible ending.
We played what?
That
Sorry.
game is fun. Go play that game. If you haven't played that game. The Third Age. It was awesome.
We played. Sorry.
Until the end. That's it. That's all I got to say about the Third Age. Awesome till the end.
We played Lord of the Rings: War in the North for the 360.
Yeah, that was fun. That was like a hack and slash adventure game. I played that with my brother on PS3.
It reminded me of Dragon Age a lot.
There's a lot of glitches. There was
a
lot of glitches going on in that game.
But my favorite part was Ben. I don't think he knew that the birds talked, that the eagles talked.
It just had slipped my mind that the eagles talk.
He forgot, and then one landed, and all majestic like, and it didn't say anything, and then all of a sudden it opens its mouth, and with the deepest voice ever, it's like,
he's like, "I thank you, my friends," and I was just completely taken aback. I was like, "Oh my gosh, this fucking Muppet is talking to me right now."
Yeah.
And then he laughed for like 20 minutes.
Some of the other shout-outs I was going to do for these video game movies are mainly Bad Boys, Miami Takedown.
Oh my god.
It's Bad Boys for life. And any of those hack and slash Lord of the Ring movie tie-ins that came out in around the same time the movies did, those were really fun beat 'em up hack and slash adventures that were ripped straight from the movie. Those were neat. The Goonies 2, that's a serious one. I remember being so confused as a kid that there was a second Goonies game, but not a second Goonies movie. Like, I, for the longest time, thought there was a sequel that I'd never seen. Up until probably I was a teenager. And was like, wait a minute. Are you sure there isn't 2 of those movies? Because there's 2 games.
No.
I remember I rented that a lot. And then, I would say, yeah, all the Budokai games. Any Dragon Ball Z fighting games. I think they all count. Except for the one based on the live action movie. I don't count that.
That one counts.
You know, the one Wolverine game released a couple years ago
Yes.
wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
That was
one
actually
cool.
better than the movie.
It was.
yeah.
It still got plagued with the terrible ending. But that's a good game.
I'm actually looking forward to the newer Spider-Man for the PS4.
By Insomniac.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Definitely
That's gonna
looking
be a lot of fun. The Batman and Robin adventure game for the Super Nintendo that was based off the TV show.
Yeah, it was like different on Sega and different on SNES, I think, right?
Yeah, I think the Super Nintendo one actually had that one beat. And then of course you get all the Disney stuff with Aladdin. But I couldn't pick Aladdin. I didn't want to put Aladdin into this list.
Yeah, I didn't think that was going to get brought up today, but I guess it is.
Well, I'm pretty sure Aladdin gets brought up every show.
It's become a staple of the hard to name.
We have to at least name drop Aladdin at some point. So that's gotta happen.
Well, guys, that's our top 3. We did it. We trudged through.
We did it.
There's also the which I guess I don't know if it would count or not. The Telltale Walking Dead games. They're more based off the graphic novel than the actual television show. But the television show is loosely based off the graphic novel. It take place in the same universe.
Zombies and shit.
Yep. But those games are done really, really well. But there was too much for me to be like, I don't know if I can really count that. But both seasons of the Walking Dead Telltale games are fantastic.
The Godfather, the first one, and Scarface were also 2 good movie games. I didn't mind either one.
Yep. Those are 2 more PS2 era. I'm telling you, man, PS2 was like, fucking, I don't know what we're doing. Let's just keep making these games based on movies that came out like 30 years ago.
Yep.
Fucking, and they made it work for the most part.
Well, Ben and Dex, thank you guys so much for joining us on episode 7 of the Hard to Name podcast. It's a blast as always to have you guys on the show, man.
Thank you for having us. We enjoy speaking at the same time together. It's great.
And I think we're all walking away here acknowledging that Bad Boys Miami Takedown is the best, right?
I would agree. I would totally agree.
We're all going our separate ways tonight, acknowledging that Bad Boys Miami Takedown is the best. Not just movie game, but maybe best game ever made.
I don't know.
Will Smith, Martin Lawrence.
So,
Snow Charlie's Angels.
If I may so kindly interject in your show and drop a potential game of the week for you guys to try out.
Yes, feel free, by all means.
Okay, so
better not be a Sega Saturn game. Just saying.
It's a Super Nintendo game.
If it's Street Fighter the movie, the game, I don't want to hear it.
Oh well, never mind then.
Watch your tongue.
That's right. That's our show for tonight. No, what do you got?
What do you got?
So, it's a crazy obscure game that nobody's ever heard about, and if you had, I'll be surprised.
Okay.
I think it's called Zardion. It's spelled Xardion.
I have never heard of that game.
Try it out. It's pretty cool. One of the most obscure Super Nintendo games I've ever played. There's very little information about it on the internet as well.
Wait, is it kind of like Ranger X on Sega? Are you in a mech in this game?
Yes, you are. Okay. You're in 3 different mechs.
I think I know what you're talking about, but I'll definitely go back to it. Check that out.
Yeah, try it out. Let me know what you think. Just because the obscure games are fun. So, try that for a game of the week. See if that works out for you.
Was this a Natsume game? I can't.
I don't know.
Asmic? I don't know. Definitely.
Asmic,
Sounds good to me, Adam.
Asmic published it. Is developed by Joryudan, which I've never fucking heard of those guys. And I'm looking this up. I'm not a wizard.
Yeah, I figured you're on Wikipedia at least.
Yeah, I'm on Wikipedia. But yeah, I've never fucking heard of Joryudan. Oh, nor have I heard of this game. I honestly don't even know if I have this. So.
Dude, nice mention. I'm always excited to check out new games I've never played, so definitely.
Yeah.
And if the listeners want to also play this game, it's spelled Xardion.
8675309.
So it's like Zardio N with the soundtrack by Ronnie James Dio. Is the soundtrack by Ronnie James Dio?
Because then I know what you're talking about.
Oh
That's
my
the
god. Deal. Where has this game been all my life?
Oh my god.
Adam, my man, thank you so much always for joining me every week right here on the Hard to Name podcast, man.
No problem. I'm always here every Friday night, all the time.
We're like Wayne's World every Friday at 10:30.
We're like a cooler version of Wayne's World, though.
All right, anyway. For myself, for Ben and Dex on the Loot Troop, be sure to follow them at Loot Troop Gaming on Twitter. Check them out on YouTube. Great Let's Plays, reviews coming, all sorts of good stuff on their channel. Thank you, all you guys, so much for joining me on the Hard to Name podcast. We'll see you guys right here next week. Have a good one. Later.
Hey guys, Mike here from the Slam Pigs Podcast, reminding you, as always, check us out on Twitter, at Slam Pigs Podcast. Check us out on Facebook, the Slam Pigs Podcast. Or, as always, check us out on YouTube. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe button. Hibiki TMD is where it's at. Until we meet again, oink oink.
Hey guys, you can follow me on Twitter at the Hibiki TMD. Check out the Hibiki TMD Facebook group for everything retro gaming, pro wrestling podcasts, and everything in between. Thanks for watching another video, and thanks for stopping by on Hibiki TMD.